Welcome back to my channel. I'm Christy Vann with Fantastic Finances, and on this channel I teach velocity banking. Today we are working with a man that wants to get out of $50,000 of debt. He already has a line of credit to work with, so we're going to start with that line of credit. His income currently stands at $78.53 a month. His expenses are at $65.95, and he has a cash flow of $1,258. Now he has the line of credit that's at $20,000. It is at the $20,000 limit, so it's high, and he wasn't aware that he could actually use that, but he can. And so we're going to start with the $20,000 balance that he already has at NFCU. So in month one, income of $78.53 would go into the line of credit. The expenses at $61.61 would come out of the line of credit. So why is it $61.61? Well, it's because when you take his expenses at $65.95 and subtract off the $434 payment that he's currently making on the line of credit, your new expenses are $61.61. Now remember, when you make an income transfer into any line of credit, you have wiped out that monthly payment. So now you have turned the payment into cash flow, which is helping to pull the balances down. So I added in the interest at $300. This is a 18% line of credit. So the $20,000 times the 18% is $300 per month. But is he ever going to pay that? No, because as soon as his income goes in, this balance drops down to $12,147. So his interest is going to be much lower. But to save room for error, I am putting it at $300. In month two, his income will go in at $78.53. His balance would be $10,755. His expenses and interest would come back out. Month three, we'd do the same thing. Income in, expenses and interest out. Month four, same thing. Income in, expenses and interest come out. His balance is at $14,114. The income will go in month five, bringing his balance down to $6,261. We'll move on up here. We'll add in his expenses, and then we're going to pay off these three credit cards, the X1, the Quicksilver, and the Barclays. We're going to add that balance into here, pay them off, gain that cash flow on this $55, $49, and $45 payments. That means that his balance now is at $16,929. He has $212 in interest, approximately. Remember, I figure on the high. His balance would then be at $17,141. His income, number 6, would go in at $78.53. His expenses would come out. Now see how the expenses here and here are lower, and that's because we were able to gain the cash flow on these payments because we paid them off. So now his expenses are at $6,012. His interest at $257 on the high of $17,141 would come out. Then in month 7, his income would go in, the expenses and the interest would come back out. Same thing for month 8. Same thing for month 9. Income in, expenses and interest would come out. Month 10, $78.53 goes in, leaving him at a balance of $2,825. So we're going to move on into his expenses and interest for this month. Month 11, $78.53 income goes in. Look at the balance. He's at $1,434. His expenses and interest would come back out. Month 12, same thing. The problem is he has actually paid off the line at $75.82 in month 12, leaving him a zero balance. Now, his personal loan over here was $17,239. He had a $381 payment a month. I took half of that. Surely to goodness, they're not taking 50% interest, right? But I took half and made it to where his balance would be $15,200 to pay off this personal loan. Then that would bring his expenses down to $5,631. Meaning his balance would come back up to $20,831. His income would go in at $78.53 in month 13. Then his interest and his expenses would come back out. Month 14, the same thing. Month 15, the same thing. Then when we get to income 16, $78.53 would go in, bringing his balance down to $69.56. After his expenses and his interest come back out, he'll be at $12,809. In month 17, his income goes in, expenses and interest out. Month 18, income goes in, $78.53. Then we've got the city bank that we're going to pay off. We just left that balance alone. It was $83.97. That $240 payment now becomes cash flow. So if you notice, his expenses went from $56.31 to $53.91. His interest comes out. His balance is back up to $16,884. Month 19, his income goes in at $78.53. Bringing his balance down to $9,031. He'll do that for 4 months, and he's going to be completely debt-free. So in less than 23 months, he paid off $50,292. Isn't that just amazing? Very impressed with this guy. He's working hard. He's going to do it. And I'm excited that I could be a part of his journey to get debt-free. If you have any questions or comments, please ask. Leave them below. I'll be glad to answer them as I get to them. If you need to contact me, I have links below as well. I hope you guys have a great week, and I will see you in the next video.